Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a topic that's literally on everyone's mind right now. We're talking about the AI revolution in the workplace. Specifically, we're looking at the coworker of the future. So how do we actually survive and thrive as we make this huge leap from the fourth industrial revolution straight into the age of generative AI? Well, let's jump right in and find out.
You know this massive generative AI explosion we're living through? It didn't just happen overnight. Actually, it all traces back to a simple but profound question asked by Alan Turing way back in 1950. Can machines think? Think about that. It's taken over 70 years of nonstop research, machine learning, and just a massive accumulation of data to get to where we are today. Understanding that history really helps us wrap our heads around just how huge this technological leap actually is.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap. We'll go from the big picture right down to your daily workflow. 1. Industry 4.0 and foundational technologies. 2. How AI is transforming the business world. 3. Which professions are at risk. 4. The digital skills of the future. 5. Making AI your personal assistant. And finally, 6. The social duties of states.
So, starting off with Section 1, Industry 4.0 and foundational technologies.
Right, so first things first, AI isn't magic, right? It's actually the result of some deeply interconnected technologies that essentially act like a giant digital nervous system. If you look at the infrastructure side, cloud computing and big data are basically the brain's memory. Then you have the Internet of Things, the IoT, connecting everything from massive factory machines down to your smartwatch, all while cybersecurity acts as the immune system protecting the whole network. On the application side, we use all that data for things like 3D printing, extended reality, cyber-physical systems, and of course, artificial intelligence. Put it all together, and these 8 pillars completely merge physical factories with digital intelligence.
So what does this actually look like in the real physical world? Well, 4.3 million. That's the number of robots actively used in global business processes in 2023. And get this, that figure jumped by 10% in just one single year. That's massive. And keep in mind, this is happening before we even start talking about cognitive generative AI. Physical automation is already accelerating at breakneck speed, which just goes to show how fast the very foundation of the workplace is shifting under our feet.
Moving on to Section 2, AI is transforming the business world.
It's important to understand that the workplace isn't just changing physically. The way things are managed is fundamentally shifting too. Enter the concept of algorithmic management. Basically, this means that workplace relationships, task distribution, and even performance metrics are increasingly being driven by big data and AI algorithms. Now, because this data collection isn't always entirely transparent, it can create a noticeable power imbalance, shifting control heavily toward employers. So employees are now often being managed not just by a human boss, but by continuous data tracking systems evaluating their performance in real time.
Which brings us to Section 3. Which professions are at risk?
Let's take a hard look at the immediate risk here. As of right now, 24% of tasks performed by office support workers face a high risk of automation. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Another 58% of those tasks face a medium risk. And honestly, generative AI is already fulfilling about 10% of online labor demand today. So this isn't some distant sci-fi future. It's happening right now, absolutely transforming the landscape of white-collar work.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast in job security we're seeing right now. If your job requires a physical presence, deep human empathy, or navigating a dynamic environment, think nursing, teaching, or construction, the risk of AI replacement is incredibly low. But conversely, if you're in a routine, repetitive desk job, like accounting, data entry, or working in a call center, those roles are directly threatened. In fact, major global hubs for office work and call centers, like India and the Philippines, are facing immense, imminent exposure to this massive wave of cognitive automation.
Okay, Section 4, digital skills of the future. So, what should you do in this situation?
How do you actually adapt to all of this? Well, the data shows that AI doesn't necessarily just destroy employment. It actually boosts overall workforce productivity to some pretty incredible levels. But to survive and keep up, you absolutely have to upgrade your skill set to match the machine's speed. That means moving way beyond basic computer knowledge and developing advanced digital literacy. You've got to let AI handle the routine, repetitive, cognitive stuff so you can dedicate your own brainpower to critical thinking and complex problem solving. But above all else, your absolute greatest asset has to be the capacity for continuous, fast-paced learning.
All right, Section 5. Make AI your assistant.
So instead of fearing AI, we need to treat it as a supercharged coworker. It's a real game changer. Here's a super practical, highly effective 3-step workflow you can use every day. Step 1, automate. Just hand off those tedious data entry tasks and standard reports right to the AI. Step 2, analyze. Feed your complex data sets into your AI tool and ask it to find the hidden patterns and deeper insights that you might miss. And step 3, strategize. Take all those hours you just saved and dedicate them to high-level strategy, innovative thinking, and upskilling yourself. Seriously, mastering this workflow is going to make you absolutely indispensable to any organization.
And finally, zooming back out for Section 6, Social Duties of States.
Because here's the reality. Individuals alone simply cannot bear the full weight of technological unemployment. To prevent severe societal disruption, governments systematically have to step in. First, clear legal frameworks and rules must be formulated for generative AI. Second, Social Security and safety nets need to be thoroughly modernized to support displaced workers. And finally, states must heavily invest in free reskilling programs while simultaneously updating labor laws to protect worker data and rights against the pressures of algorithmic management.
The fourth industrial revolution has officially left the station, and the generative AI train is moving incredibly fast. Look, machines can definitely do routine tasks better and faster than us, but strategy, true empathy, and deep critical thought, that belongs to humanity. If you view AI purely as a competitor, you're likely going to lose. But if you embrace it as a collaborator that amplifies your own abilities, your potential is literally limitless. So the ultimate question is, will you compete with AI or will you collaborate with it? Thanks for joining this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.